Hello, this is Bridget Rau with Divine Essentials. Okay, guys, I wanted to say thank you very much to everybody who donated to my cousin's GoFundMe. I'm definitely going to do like a full-on reading later on, but I wanted to make sure I said thank you to everybody, and I'm getting ready to go lay down for a little bit, but I wanted to get this out for you. So I used 3 different decks, and basically, like, you could be on either side of this. You know, it may resonate in different ways. I feel like there's an anxiety and fear in the collective right now, and I think it could be impacting you. It could be impacting the person you're dealing with. For some of you, it could be that you guys have like an energetic connection where whatever they feel, you feel, and whatever you feel, they feel, and you may even amplify each other's energies back and forth through each other. And with having, you know, shadows and shadow work coming out, I feel like this is part of the issue, that it's like you guys are getting kind of like sucked into this, and that's bringing up fear and darkness, anxiety, and it could be stemming from different things or different people. I feel like for some of you it could come from a place of like feeling like you could think that this person's doing something, or they could think you're doing something. Like you could be afraid to hear or tell this person. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so afraid to tell you. You could feel like your person's anxiety of like, maybe they're afraid to tell you how they really feel, because it says, I can't find the right words. I wanted you the moment I saw you. You know, it's always been you. You drive me crazy. I feel like that is something that could be in the collective, but it could kind of translate over to you, and you could start feeling anxiety and fear, and you may think that like they're afraid to tell you something else that's like not good, that's like they have a girlfriend, or they have a secret wife, or you know, whatever, or they could be feeling like that about you. But I feel like jealousy may be impacting things at this time, or you could be seeing things that are making you feel torture, or they could be seeing things that are making them feel torture. But basically there's some darkness, and someone's afraid to open up about what they're feeling, what they want to say. And I do think it basically ties into the fact that like this person wants to be the only one that gets to see your naked body and soul. So they may feel like you have somebody else, or maybe you do have somebody else, maybe you're married, but for some of you I think it's like it's either that they're just afraid to tell you their true feelings for you, or they're afraid that you're keeping a secret from them, and that there's a reason for them to be jealous, that, you know, somebody else has been getting to see your freaky deaky stuff, and that could be triggering this person in some way. But again, with the speechless energy, when I channeled this card, it was that song Speechless, which is more so about like being kind of like having your breath taken away by somebody, not that you're like gonna go like admit some big bad thing. So I really do feel like this is the majority of that energy that's bringing forth that fear, and it's just manifesting in the other person, probably in ways that aren't helpful, unless you can really tap into your intuition and find that. But everybody goes to these places of doubt, everybody goes to these places of insecurity. Not everybody, but a lot of times people do, so try to make sure you don't, especially having shadow work here. I feel like sometimes the shadow can bring in a lot of darkness, it can bring in a lot of doubts, and we start to see things about ourselves that we weren't really willing to see before. So if you start like looking at, you know, why I do the things I do, or why I feel the things I feel, or why I say the things, whatever, you may start getting even worse about things for a little bit, because it's like, oh my god, I really gotta like take this mask off. I can't believe I've been doing this. I guess I'm not really a victim, you know. And it can just bring up a lot of things that you start thinking about, contemplating about, and causing some stuff that just doesn't always be easy to deal with. And then we had past life as well coming out twice, so I feel like for some of you this is just like past life things that are replaying in this lifetime. You know, it may be that like something big happened in another life, and whatever you're going through with your person in this one is basically you got to break out of the pattern, because it says healing through past life meditation will help you to understand what you are reliving in this lifetime, break the cycle. So, you know, whatever cycle the two of you have had, you've got to break it, and that will be able to kind of like shift the energy. For some of you, it could tie all the way back into like the star energies, because the Starseeds card came out and it says you are here for a bigger mission than your 3D mind can comprehend. It may be that like instead of really even focusing on this, because really if you're dealing like a twin flame, you know, type of divine thing, usually the end game is to heal and to assist others in healing. And sometimes the cherry on top of that is having like a union with a divine counterpart. But this is really supposed to be the focus. Like, people should be really like healing, these chakras and working on their past lives so that they can get to like their best self for themselves without being motivated to do things because they just want a union and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that you are in that. I'm just saying that could be something that people need to bring their attention to, or that they could be. This person could be at this point of like seeing you go after this stuff. This is my Queen of Wands energy. So, this person, I think, has wanted you since the moment they saw you, but they definitely feel this magnetism for you right now. And they could have, again, had the realization that it's always been you, that they want to surrender with you, and that may be what they're afraid to tell you. And I think maybe that could be a result of you kind of like fixing up whatever stuff you had going on. But I really think that the more you just kind of work on yourself, work on your mission, the more you help to heal you, more you help to heal the collective consciousness. The more the collective consciousness heals, the more likely that your connection heals. Because even if your person isn't consciously going through an awakening or healing, you doing this work can help to ripple out and wake them up through the collective consciousness. So the best bet to get to a place of union is to really heal. But you can't go into it with the motivation of, I'm only going to heal to get to union. You really got to love yourself enough to just do it for you. And that's why, like, with the sacral and heart chakra energy, I think, there could be attachment energies that were off within this. You may have been, at a place now where you are practicing detachment, but maybe this person needs to, especially with, like, I keep my eyes on you, and, like, that jealousy. Like, those are things that, we need to kind of love ourselves to not really, like, let that consume us or feel that way about. And as we practice detachment and focus on loving ourselves, it's going to, again, like I was just saying, ripple out to them and heal them. So, the more you work on healing your heart, the more their heart's going to heal. I feel like for both of you, this is something that just probably has hurt. It's probably been hurt by them. They've probably hurt you, a lot, because this is, I'm sorry I hurt you so many times. I'm sorry I lied to you. But there again is fantasizing about you. Nobody has seduced them like you, and they want to run away with you instead of running from you because they've never felt anything like this. I think that may be an issue as well, where somebody got overwhelmed by what they felt with you. Maybe it was just too much. And so, again, their attachment style may have been to be like, I run away from love, or I, don't think I'm worthy of love. And you could have the attachment style of like, I know what I want, give it to me right now. And that could have been too much. Sometimes we get anxious with our attachment, where it's like, I love you instantly, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend tomorrow, and, let's get married in a week. And if you're dealing with somebody that has the other attachment style, they may run. So that could have been something that, has been getting healed within your connection. But with the sacral chakra, again, I definitely feel like there's a lot of desires that are not being met right now. You could have relationships in your life that are draining you right now. For some of you, it could even be this, if you've felt torture, if you felt like you've been, just miserable, you may, again, just need to detach from it and work on yourself for a while and deepen the relationship with yourself so that you can break out of whatever anxiety, fear, or, toxic, like, torture you're feeling. And then with the make love to yourself, it's like, if this has been something that's been clouding your mind, difficult for you to think, feeling alone in your bed, you may want to, fantasize. But again, practice detachment. Don't think about them. Just fantasize with yourself. Love yourself. See that you are a beautiful person that deserves to have that energy, and you're worthy, and all of those things. And finally, I think that a lot of this does come down to forgiveness. So, even with that under there, I promise it's true. Like, I think that whoever, you're dealing with, for the most part, they do have some sort of truth that they want to share with you. And I don't think it's a bad truth. I think for some of you, they just want you to forgive them. And they may sense that you haven't completely forgiven them yet. And it's going to be due to whatever they've done. Maybe they've done something more than once, and now they could be afraid that, maybe they think that if they come back in that way, they're going to hurt you again. or that they could just really like know that you know the truth but don't want to admit it to you. So it could be their ego is blocking them. It could just be the truth that they care and they're just like, I don't want to admit to that. Or it could be that they're jealous, and if they are jealous, you want to kind of give them time to like get out of that, because it may be a trigger from their past that they need to heal. Maybe they've cheated on people, or maybe they just assume that you're going to do things that they've done, again, or maybe they've been cheated on. Something has hurt them in the past. Maybe you've hurt them in the past, and they're just like got that defense mechanism up already prepared, and that could have pushed you away, that could have hurt you. And it could have happened more than once, and they could have even just lied to you and said that they didn't care about you, or maybe they lied and said that they didn't have someone else when they did. But at the end of the day, I feel that no matter what, somebody has a deep connection with you. They feel like it's always been you. I think they do want to surrender with you, like they feel ready to, but they need to be able to communicate it. They need to be able to like break out of their shadow or their awakening or whatever they're doing in regards to just thinking, and take the action into doing, so that you can forgive and heal. And again, you want to forgive them before this. Like, I think you need to just practice forgiveness and detachment, and not be like angry until I get an apology, because yes, you should get an apology, but sometimes we have to learn to forgive without them. And maybe when you forgive without it, they may show up and actually forgive, give you a real apology. But either way, walking around with anger and resentment is going to do nothing good for you. And it's, again, not going to do anything good here. And you want to ask yourself, too, like, if you haven't forgiven this person, do you really want them to come back? Or do you, want this to go away? And if you don't want it anymore, you want it to go away, maybe you need to tell them. Or maybe you need to say something to let that be known. But I think for majority of you, you do want to have this person back if you're here, like, listening to these readings. And I think it needs to really, truly be forgiven. Even though it's hurt you, it's like, yes, forgive them. That doesn't mean that you forgot. It just means that you forgave. And it doesn't mean you allow it to happen again. But it means you release the resistance and the energy that has been blocking you from seeing where this goes. You seeing if they're going to repeat the past, or, whatever. And if they repeat the cycle, then you'll know that it's time to remove them and eliminate them completely. And that may be the final piece of the puzzle, where you get to break out of the karmic cycle, or you just... Because the karmic cycles come in every connection. Even if you're on a twin flame journey, there's going to be karmic cycles that need to be healed. So you want to figure out what that is, and try to work on opening the heart, work on the relationship with self, travel through these past lives. Know that this person's definitely carrying a lot of pain as well. It's not just you that's been hurt. Try to look through their perspective. And I do feel like when you heal this stuff and release this stuff, you may hear from this person. I feel like you may even hear from them anyways, because of this seduction and this magnetism. So this person may be really wanting to kind of surrender and come feel you again, because it's like torture to not. They could have a lot of anxiety and fear, but I think there will be a point where they come out of the, like, I'm just going to sit here and say nothing stage, and get into the place of, I'm coming forward to take my mask off stage. So hopefully this assists you guys. Thank you again very much to all of you. I'm going to come back later on tonight and do like a full-on reading like I usually do. And I just posted a Lyran Starseed video on the Divine Essentials channel for anybody who may feel like you are a Starseed. You may want to look in them, because they're our ancestors for all of the others. Okay guys, so thank you again. In Mune, namaste.